What if I told you Blackmagic's working on something big? What if I know, but I don't know? But I do know, but I don't know. I got some predictions coming up. We're going to talk about 5 things that's going to happen. The next camera from Blackmagic, when it's going to happen, how it's going to happen, the price, everything. Just sit tight. What's going on? My name is Ty. If this is your first time on this channel is not designed to help you Photoshop your girlfriend's face. This channel is designed to help you get that bag. We teach you the business side of content creation. And today, we're talking about gear a little bit because gear can help you increase your production value. And production value means you can sell higher items, and selling higher items means more money. So every now and then, we talk a little gear on this channel. Today, we're talking about 5 predictions for the next Blackmagic camera. Listen, I don't have a relationship with them. I don't know them. I don't have an inside track, but there are some things that are lining up that make sense. And we're going to go over 5 things to expect from the next Blackmagic camera. Number 5, of course, is resolution. I expect a minimum of 8K from the next Blackmagic camera. I expect this camera to replace the Ursa lineup. It's going to be a minimum of 8K. Why? How? How did I come to this conclusion? One, they already dropped the 12K. That's cool. They'll probably drop either a 10 or an 8K just to give you some latitude, just to give you the ability to crop in on the 8K signal. But a lot of their gear, a lot of their live streaming gear, switchers and everything, ironically, is 8K. Now, I think this camera would have came out last year, but there was no NAB. There's a chip shortage, and with COVID, it kind of slowed things down, which has helped Blackmagic a lot because it allowed them to sit back and let everybody else release their 8K, kind of watch things. You got Red that dropped the 6K Komodo. You got Canon that dropped their overheating 8K camera. You got Sony, which dropped the Alpha. All these companies are rushing to do 8K. Blackmagic is sitting back and they're going to release it in a way that does it right. You'll probably get 10K at 60 frames a second, 8K at 120 frames per second. Don't be surprised if they present a new 12K sensor. Number 4, I think this sensor is going to be more than 15 stops of dynamic range. Probably between 15.5 and 17 stops of dynamic range. The higher they get that number, the more of a Komodo Red killer it will be. And if you want to have a camera that competes with the new V-Raptor and things like that, you need to have 16.5, 17 stops of dynamic range. If you are an experienced Blackmagic shooter like myself, and you've owned like the production camera, the production 4K camera, you know how big of a jump they made between the first Ursa and the Blackmagic Pocket cameras. The Blackmagic Pocket 4K and 6K, those sensors are absolutely beautiful. They work well. The G2 sensor work well. The Ursa Pro sensor is pretty decent, but the biggest jump to me was between the Ursa and the Blackmagic Pocket. Number 3, I think this camera is going to have a global shutter, or the ability to have a global shutter. What do you mean, Ty? I mean, let's say they gave you 10K without a global shutter or 8K with a global shutter. I think that global shutter is something they are aiming for. I also think this sensor will be full frame with the ability to shoot in Super 35 mode. Maybe they give you full frame 12K, Super 35 mode, 6K or 8K with the global shutter. As I stated earlier, I see the camera giving you higher frame rates. 8K at 120 frames per second is almost unheard of and would instantly make this camera a game changer. Remember, they released a 12K sensor probably 2 years ago. They have the experience to make great sensors. Number 2, my prediction is that it's going to be a box shape. It's going to be a modular design. They're getting away from the huge Ursas and they're going with a box Komodo style shape. They want it to be modular. If you've noticed, Blackmagic comes out with a lot of accessories. And if you want to continue to make those accessories valuable from this day forward, you have to stick with a modular design. The Blackmagic pockets are almost there, though they are shaped weird. They're kind of modular a little bit. However, I think the new Ursa, or whatever they choose to call it, will have a box or square design. Number one, I want to talk about availability and price. I expect this camera to be announced on or before NAB. I expect the camera to be at or around $6,000. That is the price point for their Ursa lineup. $599.99 is about where I expect the camera to be. Don't be surprised if we get not just one, but multiple variations of this camera style at NAB. We may even get some refresh to pockets or other cameras that they offer. I'm sure they're going to have a lot of gear and a lot of switchers and things like that that Blackmagic usually rolls out. But I expect to see everything at NAB. NAB is a very important event for Blackmagic. Those are my predictions for the next Blackmagic camera. A update to the Ursa is well overdue, and the way things are lining up, those are my predictions, and I'm sure we're gonna have a good talk about it once whatever comes out comes out. We'll have a good talk about it. We'll see how accurate I was with these predictions. Last time I made predictions, they overshot what I had in mind, so I was blown away. Again, I don't have a relationship with Blackmagic. If they do announce something, I will be there to film it and show it to you guys. And with that being said, I will see you guys in the next video.